Hello guys, welcome to the course Inorganic Made Easy. As the name suggests, this is going to be a course which is going to make inorganic chemistry learning very easy and simple, and along with that it is going to be really helpful to score lots many marks in the competitive as well as board examination. So what are we going to learn today? Well, you all have seen the title, so you all know that we are going to discuss today the previous year JEE and NEET questions from the topic oxo acids of phosphorus. So why we have chosen this topic separately? Well, this is a very important topic. Many questions coming in the examination, be it board examination or JEE mains, advanced, NEET as well as AIM examination, all have seen lots many questions from this topic. So today we are going to see 15 questions. In fact, it is going to be 16 questions that you will be seeing. 16 questions which I have chosen from the past 20-25 years from these examinations, which is going to be really very helpful for you to learn this concept. If you people have watched already our lecture on the oxo acids of phosphorus, where we have learned the whole concept with lots of easy tricks, well, this is going to be a test lecture for you people so that you can just test how much you learned from that lecture. And all those who haven't watched that, please do watch that lecture because we have made each and every concept learning with lots of small little tricks which you are really going to like a lot. So now I'm going to talk about the NEET and JEE questions. I am Dr. Ritu Johar, your educator from the channel H2O, the A to Z of chemistry, and I hope you're going to enjoy your learning with me today. So as we begin the discussion today, what I would suggest is that on your screen, firstly, only the question will be coming. So just see the question, pause the lecture, try doing the question yourself, and then look at the answer so that you can learn in a better way. Right? So the first question is, in a molecule of pyrophosphoric acid, the number of POH, P double bond O, POP bond or moiety, this is going to be respectively 420, 421, 333, 241, and this is a question which has been asked in the just concluded JEE mains examination, that is JEE mains September 2020. So I hope you understand the importance of the topic with the very first question, right? So I would suggest you, first of all, you try the question, find out what is going to be your choice, and then look at the solution. So now if you have done that, let us see what is going to be the answer. So I do not know what is your answer, but the correct answer, this is B choice. And so all of those who have attempted it correctly, good guys, you have scored 4 marks. And for those who haven't, well, this was not your JEE mains examination. So you have still time to learn the concepts and master them and score good marks. That is what we are doing here, right? So, well, how are we going to attempt this question? First of all, you should know what is pyrophosphoric acid, that is H4P2O7. In fact, how we are going to learn the formulas for all the oxo acids of phosphorus, we have done in our lecture where we learned with all the tricks. So one trick I'm giving you for pyrophosphoric acid. So pyrophosphoric acid, what you can do is just remember that we have phosphoric acid to be H3PO4. Multiply this by 2, make it 2 molecules. So this means it would be H6P2O8. From this, if you subtract one water molecule, what you will be getting is H4P2O7. Right? And this is what we have as pyrophosphoric acid. So this way we learned in that lecture all the names and the formulas. So please do watch that. I'm going to give you the link in the description box below also, so that you can master your concept. In that lecture, we also learned how we write the structures for these compounds. So the structure how we get is that from H4P2O7, the formula, we are going to subtract H2P2O4. Why we do that is that for one phosphorus, we always have a P double bond O and a POH. So for one phosphorus, there is always going to be one hydrogen and 2 oxygen. And if it is going to be 2 phosphorus, it is going to be H2P2O4. So this has to be in the structure definitely. right? So that is why what we do is we just subtract this from the formula, and what is remaining behind is 2 hydrogen and 3 oxygen, which you have to fit in into the structure. When there are going to be 2 phosphorus atoms, between the 2 phosphorus, either it can be a pp bond, or it can be a pop bond, or it can be a poop bond. This we again learned with the help of a trick. What is it going to be? Well, that we learn with help of the oxidation state of phosphorus in the compound. So here the oxidation state of phosphorus is 5. The highest oxidation state of phosphorus is also 5. Remember, if the oxidation state, this is within the normal range, that is it is up till the highest oxidation state, then what you have to do is check the number of oxygen atoms. If the number of oxygen atoms is going to be odd, we are going to have a POP linkage. If it is going to be even, it is going to be a PP linkage. And if it is going to be oxidation state greater than 5, what we will be having is a POOP linkage, right? So based upon that understanding, we draw the structure for each phosphorus: a P double bond O, a POH, a P double bond O, and a POH. Then we have learned that this compound is going to have a POP linkage. What is going to be remaining behind from this H2O3 is going to be 2 hydrogen, 2 oxygen. So we distributed them equally as 2 OH groups. So this is an easy way to learn the structure of pyrophosphoric acid, and similarly you can do for the rest of the acids as well. Okay. So now once you've drawn the structure, the rest is going to be very easy. You can see that this compound, this has 4 POH bonds, it has 2 P double bond O, and it has just 1 POP. So the correct option, this becomes 4 to 1. Easy enough, I think. Good. Now the next question we have is that white phosphorus, this on reaction with concentrated NaOH solution in an inert atmosphere of carbon dioxide, this gives phosphine and a compound X. X on acidification with HCl, this gives a compound Y. The basicity of the compound Y is going to be 2413, and this is again a JEE Mains September 2020 examination question. So this is going to be related to the preparation of these oxo acids. So try and then we will discuss. So if you have done that, well, let me give you the answer for it. The correct answer is going to be C choice. The basicity of the compound, whatever it is going to be, is going to be 1. Alright, so now how do we get this? Let us look at the reaction. We have white phosphorus reacting with concentrated NaOH solution to give us PH3 and sodium hypophosphite. So this is what is X. When we are going to react this with HCl, what we will be getting is H3PO2. H3PO2 is going to be Y, and well, when you're going to draw the structure for this, what you will be seeing is this is going to be the structure, and here we have 1 POH bond. The number of POH bonds in the formula of the oxo acid is going to be equal to the basicity of the compound, and because here we have just one POH group, therefore the basicity of this H3PO2, this is going to be 1. The answer is going to be C choice. The next question, which of the following oxo acids of phosphorus has the strongest reducing properties? This is a question which has been asked in the NEET Odisha 2019 examination. The choices are H3PO3, H3PO4, H3PO2 and H4P2O7. So please do that first and then we will look at the solution. So the solution is going to be that, well, we have to tell which oxo acid is going to have the strongest reducing properties. Strongest reducing properties, this is going to be for C choice, this is H3PO2 hypophosphorus acid. Now why hypophosphorus acid is the strongest reducing agent? Because what you have to remember is the hydrogen atom which is directly attached to the phosphorus atom, that is where you are going to see a PH bond, that is the bond which is reducing in nature, and the hydrogen atom which is attached to the phosphorus atom through oxygen, where there is going to be a POH group, that is going to be acidic in nature. right? So hypophosphorus acid, if you look at the structure once again, for all these compounds, you will see that it is hypophosphorus acid, which has two hydrogens bond directly to phosphorus as pH bonds, right? In H3PO3 there is going to be one pH, H3PO4 there is no pH, and in H4P2O7 also there is no pH, right? So here we have two pH bonds. Therefore, this is going to be the strongest reducing agent. After that, we will be having H3PO3 also to be acting as a reducing agent, and H3PO4 and H4P2O7, where there are no pH bonds, they will be non-reducing in nature, right? So the correct option is going to be C choice. Again, the similar question we have from the JEE Mains 2019 examination, the good reducing nature of H3PO2. This is attributed to the presence of two POH bonds, one pH bond, two pH bonds, one POH bond. So now this should be very simple for you. The correct option is going to be C choice. Again, giving you back again the explanation, please do not forget this, because this is going to be asked so many times in these previous year questions. As you will be seeing, H3PO2 is a good reducing agent because of the presence of the two pH bonds, and the structure, please do remember, is going to be that we will be definitely having a P double bond O, one OH, and the remaining two are going to be hydrogens. This is just the way, same trick as I drew the structure for pyrophosphoric acid. So you can again please watch my lecture where we have done all these structures in a really simple way. The next question is the number of POH bonds and the oxidation state of phosphorus in pyrophosphoric acid H4P2O7 respectively is 4 and 4, 5 and 4, 5 and 5, 4 and 5, and this is the JEE Mains 2017 examination. So a similar question being repeated once again. So the correct answer is going to be based upon the structure of H4P2O7, which you have already seen that we have how many POH bonds? There are 4 POH bonds. And what is going to be the oxidation state of phosphorus and pyrophosphoric acid? Well, that is going to be +5. There is also a trick that I have told how to remember the oxidation states of phosphorus in these oxo acids without even calculating them. So you can definitely watch that also. Okay, so the number of POH bonds is going to be 4. The oxidation state, if I show you how we calculate it, let us revise for the students who do not know how to calculate the oxidation state. So we have the oxidation state of phosphorus, so let it be X. Right, in H4P2O7 there are 7 oxygen atoms, and each oxygen atom, it has an oxidation state of -2. So 7 into -2 is going to be -14. For 4 hydrogen atoms plus 1 oxidation state, it is going to be +4. For the 2 phosphorus atoms, it will be X into 2, so 2X. And the sum total of all these, this has to come up to a 0 because this is a neutral molecule. Okay, so 2x plus 4 minus 14 is going to be equal to 0, or you can say that x is going to be equal to +5. So in pyrophosphoric acid, we have +5 oxidation state. So the correct option is going to be D option. Okay, so you can again very easily, without even calculating, remember the oxidation states of these oxo acids from my lecture. All right, the next question, again it is on oxidation state. The order of oxidation state of phosphorus in H3PO2, PO4, PO3 and H4P2O6 respectively is, and this is a question which has been asked in the JEE Advanced 2017 examination. So you understand what is the importance of it. All right, let me give you the trick that I told in my lecture, how you can remember these oxidation states even without calculating. You can just write them very quickly. Let me show you what we did. So here are all the oxidation states for the oxo acids of phosphorus. So what you can see over here is that first of all, the highest oxidation state of phosphorus is going to be equal to the number of valence electrons present in phosphorus, that is going to be 5. Okay, so let us see where all we have 5 as the oxidation state. It is present in phosphoric acid, it is present in diphosphoric acid or pyrophosphoric acid, that is the other name for diphosphoric acid, and it is also seen in metaphosphoric acid. Okay, so just remember that the ic acid, the diic acid and the metaic acid, all of them, they have 5 oxidation state. In the phosphoric acid, it will be 1 phosphorus. In diic acid, it will be 2 phosphorus. And in metaphosphoric acid, you will be seeing some common factor in the number of hydrogen, phosphorus and oxygen atoms. As you can see here, it is going to be 4. Okay, then what you can see is the next we have +3 oxidation state. Just remember, for the us acid, the di-us acid, we are going to have the same oxidation state, that is going to be +3, which is 2 less than the highest oxidation state. So if this is X, I can say this is going to be X minus 2. Okay, then we have hypo us acid, that is going to be further 2 less, because what you can remember is oxygen, this has a -2 oxidation state, and in all of these what you will be seeing is 1 oxygen is less. Phosphoric acid is going to be 1 oxygen more than phosphorus acid, and phosphorus acid is 1 more oxygen than hypophosphorus acid. So this is +1, this is +3, and this is +5. Okay, and then we have peroxo monophosphoric acid. So this has a peroxy linkage, and you will see wherever there is a peroxy linkage present, the oxidation state, this will always be greater than the highest oxidation state in the calculation from the formula. Okay, so all these done, this also you can see this is +6. So this is peroxy diphosphoric acid. Okay, so here we have 2 oxygen, so it is going to be diphosphoric acid, and peroxy is going to be already there. So this is going to be a peroxy linkage. Here also it is going to be a peroxy linkage that is present. Only left is this +4, which is in between the oxidation state of phosphoric and phosphorus acid. So just remember, this is hypophosphoric acid. Okay, so from this you can easily calculate, or just remember and write down the oxidation state of phosphorus in these compounds, and the correct option is going to be C choice. There is one similar question which was asked in the NEET 2010 examination. The oxidation state of phosphorus, again you had to calculate in these 3 compounds. So I would want you to write down the answer yourself. Now again we have one more oxidation state question. The pair in which phosphorus atoms, they have a formal oxidation state of +3. This is phosphorus and hypophosphoric acid, orthophosphorus and hypophosphoric acid, pyrophosphorus and pyrophosphoric acid, orthophosphorus and pyrophosphorus acid. And this is the JEE Mains 2016 question. So I hope you are seeing the importance of the topic for you people, right? So in this question, first of all, what you're supposed to know is that phosphorus acid and orthophosphorus acid, they mean one and the same thing. Similarly, phosphoric acid and orthophosphoric acid, they are going to mean one and the same thing. All right. So again, you have to calculate the oxidation state. So you should be able to tell what is going to be the formula for these compounds, or you have to remember the trick that I told you people. And the answer over here, this is going to be D choice, that phosphorus acid and pyrophosphorus acid, they both have the same oxidation state, which is going to be 2 less than the oxidation state of the ic acid. All right. So these are the oxidation states for these compounds that have been once again written for you people. The next question is, which is the correct statement for the given acids? Phosphenic acid, this is a monoprotic acid, while phosphonic acid is diprotic. Phosphenic acid is diprotic, while phosphonic acid is a monoprotic acid. Both are diprotic acids and both are triprotic acid. This is a question which was asked for the NEET 2016 examination. Now to attempt this question, first of all, you should be knowing what is phosphenic acid and what is phosphonic acid. In my lecture on the oxoacids of phosphorus, I did tell what is phosphonic acid, but I missed telling you what is phosphenic acid. So I'm going to tell you that before you can attempt this question once again. So phosphenic acid, this is hypophosphorus acid H3PO2, and phosphonic acid, this is phosphorus acid H3PO3. All right. So now on the basis of this, please do attempt this question once again. I want you to all attempt it correctly now. So I hope you have done it. So the correct answer is going to be A choice. Why it is A choice? Now let us understand this. So, well, first of all, we draw the structure of phosphenic acid, that is hypophosphorus acid. So here what you can see is that we have one POH bond. So this is the bond which is going to release the H ions. Therefore, this is going to be monoprotic because it will be able to release only one H ion per molecule. All right. And then we have phosphonic acid, that is phosphorus acid. Here we have two OH groups. So two OH groups means two H ions can be released. Therefore, this is going to be diprotic. All right. So what we mean by it's being monoprotic and diprotic is just like being monobasic and dibasic. Okay. So the next question is the oxoaces of phosphorus that reduces silver nitrate to metallic silver is H3PO2, H4P2O6, H3PO4, H4P2O7, HPO3N. This is a Kerala PMT 2015 question. This is a reaction which is very importantly given in the properties of these oxoacids. So you should remember this very well. All right. So as an answer to this question, the correct answer is going to be A choice. It is hypophosphorus acid, which is going to reduce silver nitrate into metallic silver. Why is it able to reduce silver nitrate to metallic silver? This is because of the reducing nature of H3PO2 because of the presence of the pH bond. In the rest of all of these oxo acids, you will find that there is no no pH bond. Therefore, these are not going to be correct. There is only one oxo acid in these five choices which has a pH bond, and therefore H3PO2 is going to reduce silver nitrate to metallic silver. Let us look at the reaction also. This is an important reaction. We have H3PO2 plus AgNO3 plus water. This is going to form silver plus H3PO4 and HNO3. So AgNO3, this is going to be silver having the oxidation state of +1, and in silver it is metallic form. So it is going to be 0 in the elemental state. So +1 to 0, this is a reduction reaction. Who is causing the reaction? It is going to be H3PO2 that is causing the reduction of AgNO3 to silver. So this is going to act as the reducing agent, and itself it is going to be oxidized to H3PO4. The next question is the strong reducing behavior of H3PO2. This is due to, I think we have done it so many times now, you will be able to quickly write down the answer. High electron gain enthalpy of phosphorus, high oxidation state of phosphorus, presence of two OH groups and one pH bond, presence of two OH groups and two pH bonds. And the correct answer you have to tell. This is a question asked in 2015 NEET examination. So these are just same questions being framed in one language or the other. If you know the just simple concept, you are going to get it 100% correct, right? So by now you all know what is going to be the correct choice. It is going to be D because H3PO2, this has one OH group and two pH bonds. So the next question, which of the following statements is not valid for oxo acids of phosphorus? Orthophosphoric acid is used in the manufacture of triple superphosphate. Hypophosphorus acid is a diprotic acid. All oxo acids contain tetrahedral 4-coordinated phosphorus. All oxo acids contain at least one P double bond O unit and one POH group. This is a NEET 2012 question. All right, so the correct answer over here, this is B choice, right? And B choice is that hypophosphorus acid is not going to be a diprotic acid. It is going to be monoprotic. It has one POH bond and the other they are going to be pH bonds. Okay, now the other ones, please do remember that orthophosphoric acid, this is used in the manufacture of triple superphosphate. It is used in the preparation of phosphatic fertilizers. All oxo acids, they contain a tetrahedrally 4 group of atoms surrounding the phosphorus atom, and also you can remember over here that phosphorus is going to be sp3 hybridized. Phosphorus makes 5 bonds, out of which 4 are going to be sigma bonds and 1 is going to be the pi bond, right? So 4 sigma bonds is going to be equivalent to sp3 hybridization. This is also one thing you can remember. And out of the 5 bonds that phosphorus is making, at least one P double bond O and one POH group, this has to be present. The next question is a AIMS 2003 question. The true statement for the acids of phosphorus H3PO2, H3PO3, H3PO4, the order of their acidity is going to be H3PO3, H3PO4, H3PO2. All of them, they are reducing in nature. All of them, they are tribasic acids. The geometry of phosphorus is tetrahedral in all of them. So attempt it and then look at the solution. So I think you now know which is going to be the correct option. It is going to be D choice, which is going to be correct, because we've just now discussed that the geometry of phosphorus is tetrahedral in all of these oxo acids. Well, phosphorus is going to make 5 bonds, out of which one is going to be a P double bond O, where there is going to be 1 pi bond. Rest all are going to be sigma bonds. So 4 sigma bonds means sp3 hybridization and tetrahedral geometry. Let us look at the rest of the 3 choices also. All of them, they are tribasic acids. No, they are not tribasic. H3PO2 is going to be monobasic, H3PO3 will be dibasic, and H3PO4 is going to be tribasic, depending upon the number of H ions they can furnish into the solution, which is going to be equal to the number of OH groups which are going to be present in these acids. All of them, they are reducing in nature. Well, again, this is going to be incorrect. H3PO2 has 2 pH bonds, so this is going to be reducing. This has 1 pH bond, reducing, and H3PO4 has no pH bond, so this will be non-reducing in nature. Now, the A choice, this is given the order of their acidity. So the order of the acidity should be opposite to the order of basicity. The acidity we generally use for the term basis, where we say that the acidity of the basis is going to be equal to the number of OH ions which is going to be furnished into the solution. But if you have to tell the acidity of these oxo acids, well, you can just reverse the order of the basicity of these acids. So what this means is, if the order of the basicity, which is going to be equal to the number of OH groups, well, this is going to be equal to H3PO4 will be greater than H3PO3 will be greater than H3PO2. So this will be the order of basicity. If you have to tell the order of acidity, it has to be the reverse. So this means that if you are just going to reverse this order, H3PO2, this is going to be having more acidity than H3PO3, and this is going to be having more acidity than H3PO4. Okay, so I hope now this is clear. Another thing which you can remember is related to the acidic strength. So please do not confuse acidic strength and acidity terms, right? So basicity is going to refer to the number of H ions furnished, and number of the acidity refers to the number of OH ions furnished into the solution. So what is going to be basicity? We will be having the opposite order for the acidity. Okay, when we talk about the acidic strength, well, this depends upon a number of factors like the electronegativity of the agent, how many H ions they can be furnished, what is the strength of the conjugate base that is being formed. So the acidic strength depends upon a number of factors. All right, so in general, what we see in the oxo acids is, more is going to be the number of oxygen atoms, more is the acidic strength of those compounds. But what you have to remember in case of phosphorus, right? So what you have to remember in case of phosphorus, first of all, let me tell you the order. It is H3PO2. This is greater than H3PO3. This is going to be greater than H3PO4. This is the order for the acidic strength of these compounds. Why is it so? Well, this is so because we have a P double bond O in all of them, and there is going to be at least one OH group also present. Now this P double bond O, this is highly electron withdrawing in nature. So what is going to happen is that these electrons, they are going to be pulled towards oxygen. So this bond becomes very easy to break between oxygen and hydrogen because of the presence of this P double bond O. Okay, now in case of H3PO2, we have just one OH group. So one OH group is being pulled by P double bond O. In case of H3PO3, it is going to be two OH ions which the one P double bond O has to pull, and in case of H3PO4, it will be three OH ions which the P double bond O has to pull. So what we find out is that P double bond O obviously is going to be having much more easy when it has to pull one OH in comparison to 2 and in comparison to 3. So we find that H3PO2, this is more acidic, or you can say it is having more acidic strength than H3PO3 and H3PO4, which we can confirm experimentally by the pKa values of these acids. Okay, what we find is that the pKa value out of all these three is lowest for H3PO2, and pKa value, when this is going to be lowest for H3PO2, this shows that this is the strongest of all of these. All right, so this is the strongest. Lower is the pKa value, stronger is going to be the acid. So this is how we find it experimentally, and the presence of this P double bond O explains the acidic strength of H3PO2 being higher than H3PO3 and H3PO4. Otherwise, what you would have thought was that H3PO4 3H ions being furnished in H3PO3 2 ions, and in H3PO2 only one H ion being furnished. So you would have thought that H3PO4 is a stronger acid, but this is not correct. The strongest acid is going to be H3PO2. So please do remember this. Okay, so this is very important. It has not come in the question till now, but I just wanted you to remember this very important thing. So again, a similar question on hypophosphorus acid. Hypophosphorus acid is a very important acid, right? So phosphorus acid, how many hydrogens are attached to phosphorus atom? So now if you did not remember it, now this is perfectly imprinted into your mind. This is the AIEEE 2005 question, and the options are 0, 2, 1 and 3. So what is the correct answer? It is going to be hypophosphorus acid, where we will be having two pH bonds present in the acid. So the correct option is going to be B choice. The structural formula of hypophosphorus acid. Now again, I think that is going to be so very easy. This is a NEET 1997 question. So the correct option is going to be C choice. So the last question for today, that is a NEET 1989 question, long time back, but well, this is the question I found on the preparation of these oxo acids. This has been given in the NCERT textbook in the table only, the preparations. So please do learn those preparations also, because long time there has been no question. So there is a probability that one may be coming up. All right, so when orthophosphoric acid is heated at 600 Celsius, the product formed is PH3, P2O5, H3PO3, HPO3. So the correct option over here is going to be D choice, that is when orthophosphoric acid, this is heated at a temperature of 600 Celsius, the product that is formed is metaphosphoric acid, HPO3. All right, now this is one reaction which has not been given in the NCERT textbook in the table where the all oxo acids of phosphorus has been given. So just remember this, that when orthophosphoric acid we heat at a temperature above 200 degrees Celsius, at a temperature of about 250 degrees Celsius actually, where first of all pyrophosphoric acid is formed. This is one reaction which has been mentioned in the NCERT textbook, that when you're going to eat orthophosphoric acid, what you will be getting is pyrophosphoric acid. Okay, but when you are going to further heat it up to a temperature of about 600 Celsius, what is going to be formed is metaphosphoric acid. Okay, so please do remember this. You can put a note in your NCERT textbook also, so that when you are revising the concept, you know this very well. So that would be all for this lecture. See you again for the next lecture, where we are going to discuss more tricks, more concepts and more questions. So please do subscribe to our channel, do like it and do share it with your friends, so that it is going to be helpful to the maximum number of students. In case of any doubts, you're most welcome. Put your doubts in the comment section. You can also mail them to us at h2ochemistry@gmail.com. So see you again. Have a nice day. God bless you.